Oh no, Dorsey. Hello, Facebook. Welcome to Qfm96's Friday Night Live, and it's brought to you by Seven Sun Brewing and Antiques on High, Arch Madness. Dorsey, I hate goodbyes. Dorse. I hate them.
I know, man. It's been a lot of fun.
It has been fun, man. I appreciate everything you've done with this, Dorse. For those who have appeared on the show, they know that you do you're Dara Hall, man. I'm Oates. Man.
Well, you let me back at HQ tonight, so things are a little smoother.
Good deal, man. On tonight's show, Seven Sun Brewing co-founder Collin Castore will be joining us as I drink some Seven Sun right now. And let's see here. Music Go Round presents a musical performance from the original Qfm96 house band, Jackass Genius. More on their performance. We'll discuss how that's all going to shake down. And then tonight's top three list, which will be your top three favorite AC/DC songs. What's up, Randy? I see Randy and Jimmy already checking in there. We got Brenda. What's up, Brenda? I love that name so much. I'm married to Brenda. And but listen, man, we're going to have some fun. So tell us what your top three AC/DC songs are, and we'll put those up as well. Dorsey, usually at this point, it's when we do some music news. There's really not any music news. The Queen's got a stamp. I don't know if you saw that over in England. So they got a stamp. That's the right. However that works. And then controversial. Is it controversial? And then there's also, now this is kind of cool, but you and I hey Jody, Kev Beam. We did get tickets for Ace Frehley in Warren, Ohio. Now, what's the date on that, Doors?
It's August 7th. It's a Friday, and I figured why not, right? We'll get the tickets. It's supposed to be a socially distanced concert with the mask and the spreading out and everything, but it's still Ace Frehley. Who knows if it'll happen, right? We could get a refund, or we could end up going to one of the only, if not the only, national act. You know what I mean?
That'd be crazy.
We'll get to see during this whole pandemic.
Dude, I think it's 90-10. No, don't you? I mean,
well, we got to hold on to some hope, right? Can we hold on to a little bit of hope?
I know. I'm half empty. Ever since Kiefer, ever since Picktown, I've quit, Dorsey. Okay, hey Craig, thanks for joining us, brother. I did. I was so optimistic, wasn't I, Doors?
You were.
I really was.
You were.
Not anymore. So that's the music news. Let's not even go down that road. So listen, Seven Sun Brewing, Antiques on High, and really especially Seven Sun Brewing. Those are the gang that I've met a few years back, and as they were kind of building this, and they have of course sponsored this Friday Night Live. I Tap That. They've come in for I Tap That. Some of the more legendary, the ladies of Seven Sun Brewing. That was one of the all-time classic I Tap That's. And then they hosted a Knights of the Rock Table, soon to be the sponsor of the Joe Show Drive at 5. I guess my point is, I just appreciate this relationship. It's a good group of people. And we've got the co-founder, Collin Castore, on with us right now. Hey, Maribeth. Hey, Collin. What's up, dude?
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me on. It's a good way to spend Friday night.
That's right. Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Right on. Hey, Collin. Now, before we get started here, this is a very easy true or false. And I'm not putting you on the spot. Trust me, when you hear these questions, you're going to be cool with it. All right. So all I need you to do is answer true or false. All right. All right. Seven Sun Tap Room is reopened at the corner of 4th and 4th in Italian Village.
That is true.
That is true. Okay. Antiques on High Tap Room is reopened on South High in German Village. Is that true or false, Collin?
True again.
That is okay. All right. Now this one.
I don't feel like the. Yeah.
Okay. So carry out is available from Seven Sun. Is that
carry out is available from Seven Sun during the day as well as through the night through the tap room hours.
All right. And Humulus Nimbus, oh my goodness, was rated a 97, Collin, by Craft Beer and Brewing, calling it near perfect and effortless. Is that true?
It is true, but
you got 100
without effort that we make damn fine.
I love it. Now, I be honest with you, man. I'm a scientist guy because I love how I love the story of that and how that's made. But I am enjoying this. So
I'm glad. Yeah, for me, I drink IPA year round. I drink IPA a ton, probably more than any other style. But summertime, I love having a Nimbus. It's like that little bit lighter. That just goes perfect with hot weather.
So how you doing, man? Are you good? I missed you, bro. I'm just happy to see you. I mean, it's, there was like every other Friday, we were all kind of partying there in the Q studios before all this hit. Have you guys you've been hanging in? Everything is kind of slowly getting back to normal for you, but how did you guys do, man, throughout this?
We did okay. It was really challenging. I think like any small business will tell you, it's been super weird and super challenging, and sometimes it feels like there's like a new crisis a day. But we're lucky enough that our staff's been absolutely amazing. We got a ton of support from the public in terms of delivery, and we started doing home delivery during this, and the carryout, and we were able to keep making fresh beer this whole time, which was really important to us. And we kept the majority of our staff this entire time employed, and now we actually even hired on a few new people to help out with some of the new, like, kind of the new normal in tap rooms where we have a host and set tables and all that kind of stuff. But it's been weird, but it's been good, and we're getting through it.
Right on, man. Hey, Collin, and I just look, and I'm going to bring this up because the one time you did bring it up, and Dorsey, I don't know if you know this story, but Collin has a place up in Cleveland that's haunted.
Oh, really?
You knew that.
That was a fun one. The sad thing is we don't have that anymore. We actually, like, now we can do the commute, but we did when we first started sending beer up to Cleveland. We rented this little apartment because we decided it was going to be easier than like constant Airbnb or hotels or whatever. So we get this little apartment. It seems fine. It's on right off Detroit Avenue in Cleveland. And there were some lights that turned on their own, some TVs that turned on. There was some weird stuff going on. And like
there was no clapper in the room, right?
No clapper, no other devices. Nothing was a smart device. Nothing was a timer device. Like, just kind of genuinely weird stuff.
And Collin, I want to hear the AC/DC that you guys, as a collective, I think, at Seven Son. But hey, man, I said before you came on, and I'm not blowing smoke, man. I appreciate your support that you've given me over the last few years. There in the afternoons and all the different projects that I've done, especially like this one here on Friday Night Live. Very appreciative of it, man. So thank you.
Thank you guys. Ever since I started working in restaurants when I was 15, and I was a busboy and a dishwasher. And pretty much ever since then, QFM has been like a staple of being in Columbus. And it's what I think of when I think of like Columbus and rock. And it just seemed like the right thing to do. If we're going to like join up with somebody, we should hang out with QFM and drink some beer.
And drink some beers, man, right? Especially on a Friday afternoon. Those are always good. And like I said, the ladies of Seven Son and Antiques on High, that's an I'd tap that of legend, man. It really, truly, truly is. Now, look, I know you're not the biggest AC/DC fan, but with Jackass Genius, these cats that we've got, they're huge AC/DC fans. So Dorsey and I kind of thought it would be fun to do a top 3 AC/DC. Now, did you kind of throw that by the group there at Seven Son? Did you guys think of like your top 3 AC/DC songs?
I did, and I can't I'm more of I'm all over the place, but
I know you are. Man. That's why I didn't want to put you on the spot, but is there an AC/DC song that
it's impossible to exist without, like, we started going through songs and everything, and I'm like, I think I told you this, like, I would be hard pressed if you said off the top of your head, name like 10 AC/DC songs. I could probably do it, maybe do it. But then you start scrolling down and you're like, wait, I know like 50 AC/DC songs. It's like a part of rock culture. So I came up with a number, but all of them seem so obvious because they're all so ubiquitous. It's almost
it's all good. It's all good.
Bells, just because it's Hell's Bells. That's
on. Nothing wrong with that.
You got Thunderstruck because the opening lick,
that fires you up, man. It fires you up.
It does. I think everything AC/DC does fires you up. I mean, that's like the underlying. And then Dirty Deeds. It sticks in your head. When you were younger, you're like, wow, they're saying this. Like it's
man, you can't go wrong. We did one and to pick top 3 AC/DC songs is quite a task. It's hard to do. We did the Stones a few weeks ago, and we're like, oh my God, yeah, how do you pick 3 Rolling Stones songs? And Dorsey said it to me that 3
favorite Stones albums, let alone like 3 favorite.
Right? And Dorsey's like, dude, I'm telling you, Arch, this is as hard as it was to do the Stones, to do this AC/DC, to narrow it down to 3. But you did it. You guys did it there, Seventh Son.
I feel good about it. And my wife really wanted to add big balls into it.
Yeah.
Even though it's called like, even though it's big balls, it's got like the line like she's got big balls, and she's like, it's really empowering. It's really nice.
It is, man. It is. That's the first time that I've ever heard anybody say that AC/DC is empowering. But it's yeah, why not? Why not? Collin, Castore, bro, thank you so much. We'll be in touch soon as far as you guys being a part of the Joe Show Drive at 5, which again, thank you so much. I'm excited to have you guys to do that ride with me on Friday afternoons. It's such a fun show.
Yeah, man, we're excited too.
So Collin, Castore there, Seventh Son Brewing, Antiques on High. Thank you so much, Collin, for all you do, brother.
Thanks, Collin.
There you go. And he the best, man. I told you. I just love him to death. Those girls, man, that was something else. That Drive at 5. What else do we got, Doris? Before we get the band on here, and I have a Dirty Deeds story I want to tell you. What do you got, Doris?
Well, we got lots of people lighting us up with their top 3. I'm just going to go through this. We got Craig here, says Back in Black, Hell's Bells, Giving the Dog a Bone.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see, we got Ronnie here. Ronnie says, Have a Drink on Me, Sin City, Highway to Hell.
I mean, how do you can't go wrong.
Here's Randy. I couldn't
write
down the 3 songs. Good luck with that.
That's a good point, man. It's a good point.
Josh here, Have a Drink on Me, Ain't No Fun Waiting Around to Be a Millionaire.
Nice.
And Ride On.
What a chill song. Is it? That's no other song like that in the AC/DC catalog.
Christy chiming in. Girls Got Rhythm. I think she means Night Prowler. And then the Jack.
I don't know. Christy might mean Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler.
You and Jimmy doing some fishing later, Christy? Oh, shoot. Oh, listen, and that reminds me, Christy there, and Christy will appreciate this story as well as everybody else watching. So, Doris, I kind of switch my albums up here in the back, but those top 2 ones, so you got Highway to Hell and you've got Dirty Deeds, okay? Those 2. Now, when we moved, and if Christy wants to hop on again and correct my math, but we used to be downtown, and that was one of our big last, where the moves where we had so much stuff that we downsized the moves after that. But we had this record collection, the original Qfm96 record collection, down in the basement. And so Joe Show knew that I was a vinyl guy. He knew he had the key, and before we moved, he said, Arch, I want you to go through those records because I know you will take care of them. And so I grabbed those. I grabbed a whole bunch of records. Those 2 right there. So, folks, Highway to Hell, think about all the songs on that. I mean, AC/DC, Dirty Deeds. Think about all the songs on that you heard in like the late 70s and 80s as you were growing up with QFM96. Those are the albums. Those are the ones that you heard. So those are
the actual ones that the
those are the actual records. And in fact, I don't think you can see it. And I wish I should have brought them. It would have been better if I'd have brought them up so I could have shown everybody. But there's an A14. There some of them are numbered with stickers. As you would go through the A's, you'd go through the B's, and you do all that. But those are the original records that QFM used to play. So if you grew up listening to those songs and you love Dirty Deeds and all the songs off of Highway to Hell. That's the bad boys right there. So anyway, I wanted to share that story. And anytime you can talk about Joe Show is a good story. So right now is the first ever QFM96 house band. Ladies and germs, give it up for Jackass Genius. Hello, fellas.
What's on, guys? Thank you for having us.
Yeah, B-Rad. I was really hoping that Larry Dick Daniels might show up, fellas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
he's not going to make it tonight. Larry has unfortunately been taken by a sudden illness. He was here earlier, but he had to leave.
And guys,
how you guys doing?
We're good, man. Better now that I'm seeing you cats. And let me just say this, Jackass Genius, and this is something that we've dealt with on this whole streaming thing. It's tough with this application that we have and the service that we're using to really transfer the music and do it a right way. So coming up at 9 o'clock tonight on the QFM96 Facebook page, as soon as we're done here, you can catch the performance, which is brought to you by Music Go Round. You can see Jackass Genius's performance on the QFM96 Facebook page. Is that cool, gentlemen? I think it's just better to be safe than sorry, brother. Cool. So that way we can get a couple more extra beers in us before we watch that.
Speaking of extra beers, Brad, would you like to light us up? And I know our friends have been waiting to hear this for a while.
Yeah, here it goes.
If you could, oh, did we lose it?
No, go for it. No, we're just waiting. I'm just trying to get them up.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Get them up, get them up, get them up. Get them up, get them up, get them up. Get them up, get them up, get them up.
1, 2, 3, drink.
Woohoo!
Yeah. There we go.
Probably shouldn't chug 6%, but there we go.
You'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'll be fine. Guys, and listen, before I want to do the AC/DC, your top 3, and then I want to find out like the performance that you guys did. I want to talk about it because I'm always curious to find out during the quarantine if you guys were able to kind of socially distant practice or what you did. But let's go ahead and do our top 3 list. Dorsey, you line them up, bro. Tell us who we got first.
Dave's up first.
All right, Crouch, what do you got for us, man?
We go 3, 2, 1, Dave.
3, 2, 1.
So I don't remember what. There we go. So Shoot to Thrill. That's my favorite song on that album, and probably my favorite Brian Johnson tune. Just like the way that one moves, and I just like the way it takes off. I don't know how to pronounce it. Whole Lot of Rosie. 2 and 1 for me have a couple things in common. It's the riff, right? It's like da 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 da. I like that riff. You want to hear it again? Yes. Okay. But it's 2 and 1 have those tight little riffs. So that segues into Girls Got Rhythm. Same type of thing, man. I just dig that and kind of like that chorus. Bon Scott, high vocal there, man.
For
it
sure,
just kind of
for
takes
sure.
off.
And guys, we talked about a little bit ago, how hard is it to pick 3 AC/DC? I mean, you could sit here and have arguments to say, pick your top 3 Bon Scott AC/DCs, top 3 Brian Johnson, and still have a hard time picking out a
Good
top
point,
3.
Doris.
Yeah. It took Brad a while.
To pick the songs or just,
right?
Okay, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Dorsey, anybody else chiming in there before I think Steve's going to go next, but is there any, as far as the QFM peeps out there?
Yeah, we got Shannon here saying rock and roll ain't noise pollution, Dirty Deeds, Back in Black.
Classic.
Here's one you'll
Iconic,
like,
if you
Arch.
will.
Reed saying Soul Stripper, DT and Who Made Who.
We jammed on Soul Stripper today, Dorsey.
Yeah.
Good
Brian
stuff.
saying Thunderstruck, Whole Lot of Rosie, the Jack. He went 4. He said Hell's Bells.
That's all right. He's a Hawks fan. He's allowed to. All right, so let's go with Steve. You're up next, and Steve, I know for a fact that you and I have one of the same songs because we've had a discussion about this song before. I think at a varsity club. Go ahead, man.
Well, I think the third one that I had on the list was "Hello, Darling."
Steve, come on.
Now, when Dave asked me for my top 3 AC/DC songs, I put "Hello, Darling" at 3, and he texts me back and says, "What album's that on?" And I said, "Well, it's on Conway Twitty's Greatest Hits."
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
Twitty.
Beating around her bush.
There you go.
There you go. Is
Just
that the one we talked about before, Arch?
No. It's down payment, but you'll get to it.
Yeah. Girls Got Rhythm. Dave stole that off of me. So.
Okay, let's just jump to 1 then. Let you guys discuss
that's
it.
Down Payment.
Boom. Down Payment Blues, Steve. It's just honestly, man, that's in my top 3 as well. Why is that song? As a guitar player, bro.
I think, it's one of those songs that starts, kind of soft and builds up, and builds up to a peak, and it's just a pretty kick-ass type tune. So, as a guitar player, well,
Steve,
as a guitar player, you like all the AC/DC stuff because it's all guitar riffs, so.
Well, I'll bring it up during my top 3, but I said it's almost like this, especially during the Bon Scott era, where it's this slow build and it's explosion. And Down Payment Blues is one of those songs where it's got that, with the bass, everything, it kind of rides up and then all of a sudden, boom, it explodes and Angus is in your face.
Yeah, I think it was, one of those songs that, I played, for years in bands, in the late 70s and 80s, that was a big one. So,
For sure. We've got, who we got here? Craig says, Back in Black, Hell's Bells, Giving the Dog a Bone. Dude, Giving the Dog a Bone that's popping up more than, than I thought, Doris. That's a classic, man. Absolute classic. Who do we got next? Is it B-Rad or Marshall?
Brad's up next.
Mm-hmm.
Brad.
Check out the brand on Brad.
What's going on, guys?
What's up, sexy? How are you, man?
I'm doing good, man.
I love you, Brad. You're one of the all-time cool dudes, man, in town. What do you got for us at number 3?
I try to be, Arch. I try to be. It's so
dude.
hard sometimes.
I miss you. I miss you.
Try to be.
And you're humble too.
So on my list here, I had "Let Me Put My Love Into You." I mean,
I'm not sure what's that song about, Brad.
well, it can mean a lot of things, actually.
Love,
man, love.
It's
love
a
would be
romance.
the main.
Let me cut your cake with my knife. The knife is his wiener.
Right? we're on the same wavelength there, buddy.
Right, Brad?
Exactly. Oh yeah, I just love that song. I just think Brian Johnson just.
I'm with you, man. That's one of my favorite Brian Johnson songs.
Yep.
Look, our buddy Jim Roseberry putting up a great point. Can you imagine being the replacement singer and Back in Black is your first record?
Yeah.
No.
That's a good flex. That was a good flex for Brian Johnson, for sure. For sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. My second one was Thunderstruck, obviously. It's just
Nice.
played in every sports anthem kind of thing.
sure.
It's, I think it's one of the great songs by Brian Johnson, AC/DC.
For sure. And that boom.
Back in Black. I mean, what can you say about that, man? I just love that old video. It was played on MTV years ago.
Yeah.
Just a lot of energy, and I just love the song.
Well, it's been
It's
really
iconic.
interesting, Brad. I've been reading a book for a while called Bon Scott, The Last Highway, and reading this book, like looking back, I didn't realize that a lot of the albums like High Voltage and Dirty Deeds, they really didn't sell that well, and they really weren't getting a lot of radio airplay, and they really started to catch a buzz and get some love on Highway to Hell, and they really didn't even explode and become the big AC/DC that we know now until Back in Black. And I was surprised by that as somebody who kind of, being younger and growing up, I just always thought that like from the get-go, because when you think of Dirty Deeds and TNT and Long Way to the Top and those songs that were out, I'm just like, well, those songs had to be huge when they came out.
Right.
And they really
Absolutely.
weren't. They didn't become bigger. And what's really funny is, people that are really into music, and I'm not saying 100%, but a lot of them seem to lean a little more towards Bon Scott more so than the Brian Johnson stuff, which I find super interesting because it was the Brian Johnson stuff that was really the big success that they had on the radio.
Big hit stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. And as you see, my 3 pick are with Brian Johnson. But I mean, I like old AC/DC, but I definitely like the Brian Johnson AC/DC.
Of course.
Brad, good stuff, man. Love you like a brother.
Thanks, man.
What do we got? We got Marshall. Marshall's up next, man.
Marshall, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, these were hard. This is extremely hard because I'm a big AC/DC fan, huge AC/DC fan.
Let's go with it, Marshall. Number 3. What do we have? Ooh.
Night Prowler.
Damn
I
straight.
love the old stuff, and that one right there for me. I was kind of like a night prowler in the day. So.
Hey, don't give up too much. The FBI watches this shit. Don't give too much up there, Marshall.
That's right.
Go ahead. Yeah, what do you got?
And then I think Shoot the Thrill. The Back in Black album was like my all-time favorite. So, I mean, trying to pick some of these songs was tough. But Shoot the Thrill, I love the dual guitars on there. Just heavy guitar riffs. I love that. Got guitar guru here with us, just smoking guitars. So, And then my number 1 song was For Those About to Rock. I've seen that tour, For Those About to Rock, and it was the best tour ever.
Wow, you saw that tour.
I've seen it down at Legend Valley.
Oh, boy.
You win, Marshall.
Legend Valley.
You win.
That's when you was able to bring gallons of beer into the venues. Yeah, it was. Some of that show I don't remember too much of, but that was a great show. I do remember the end of it. Yeah.
And let me just say this, Marshall, for all the Blue Jacket. Oh my God, I get this wrong. For all the Blue Jacket fans, that song means a lot as well. I miss my Cannon and I miss my For Those About to Rock.
Man, hopefully they get this started July 10th.
I'm in. I don't care. Let's do it. I don't care if it's a short. It doesn't matter to me. I will win the COVID Cup. Let's do it.
That's it. Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care what it is. So, Marshall, that's a great list, brother. Here's my top 3, boys. Down Payment Blues at number 3.
Oh,
of course, Steve and I have talked about how much we love that one. And Livewire at number 2. I will say this. I never got to see Bon Scott AC/DC. I saw the Brian Johnson version with all the guys. Let me just throw this out there. I don't mean to be blasphemous. If you were at the Axl Rose AC/DC show, you know what an amazing night that was. Livewire was an absolute highlight. That was still one of the best. And I've seen Guns N' Roses. I've seen AC/DC in the last 10 years. I'm telling you that Axl Rose with AC/DC show was one of the best shows I've seen in the last decade. And that's the flippin' truth. And that version was killer. Number 1 for me, Touch Too Much, man. Touch Too Much.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah.
I mean, that is an absolute panty dropper. That is just, it's Touch Too Much. That is the groove on that is just like no other AC/DC song. So that's my top 3.
I need to reassess my top 3.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was really surprised when I saw all your guys' lists and no one had Livewire. I'm like, man, I thought for sure someone would sneak that on there. Yeah. But of course, we all know there's so many that could plug in there.
That's the thing, right?
Sand to the Beach, Jackass Genius. It's like bringing sand to the beach, picking your favorite AC/DC song.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, Dorsey. Well, we're waiting. You're the brains of the outfit. What do you got?
All right, you're going to see a couple repeats, but I still have one that no one has put yet, and I know it's not a huge hit, but it's one of my personal favorites. But first, number 3, Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution. I will say I wavered a lot on that number 3 spot. I had songs in my mind like Ride On, Night Prowler, The Jack. I mean, those songs were kind of floating around on my number 3 right there. Number 2, If You Want Blood, You've Got It. That's my song.
When I hear it, I think of you, Dorsey. That's your tune. I'm surprised it's not number 1. I'm surprised it's not number 1.
Well, you know what number 1 is. We agree on that. Yeah. And it's simply Touch Too Much. I mean, that song to me is just awesome from start to finish. The lyrics, they're clever, they're tongue in cheek. It's all Bon Scott. The music, it just rocks. So that's why it's my favorite. Another one that was an honorable mention for me, which Craig here has, I'm going to pull him up. Sin City.
Yep.
Yeah. That's a good one to kick the Joe Show Drive at 5 off. I love when we start off with Sin City. That's another one of those songs. It's just a great intro. It's a great opening song. It just gets everybody fired up. So Jackass Genius, before we're now up at 9 o'clock, we're gonna play your performance, sponsored by Music Go Round. Was that the first time that you guys got together?
Close.
Yeah.
It was like the second time.
We just hope it doesn't show.
We'll let you watch the video and tell us that.
Well,
you can where your hurt flooded.
Well, listen, you guys were the original Qfm96 house band, and we've had just about every house band that we've had here on Friday Night Live, and we're just such huge fans of all of the bands here that we've had on this, and it was a great way to kind of close it out with you guys, and just great personalities. You guys are awesome, good souls, and Jackass Genius. Thank you.
We appreciate it. If we could take a half a second and thank you guys. On behalf of Jackass Genius, we really appreciate everything that the Q does for us. Boys, round of applause, please. Yes, for QFM96. And, of course, for Dorsey, who keeps us sane, and Archie, who keeps us laughing. And also to Ross, who kept us practicing.
Yeah.
And
Ross, the boss over there at
the boss at My Place Productions. Thank you, Ross. And Jamie Vandera for keeping me in shape. So I could get back and we could do this. So, guys, thanks a lot. We appreciate it.
Awesome. Have a great 4th, Jackass Genius.
Hey, all right, you too, man. Thank you so much, man.
Thanks, guys.
See you guys. Yeah. So thanks to Jackass Genius and all the bands who joined us, our sponsors, Seven Sun Brewing, Antiques on High, and all of you who have joined us on Friday nights, QFM96 listeners. I mean, you guys are the best. You are the best. And I know I speak for everyone at the station. We absolutely hail you guys. So, Dorsey, thanks, brother, for all your hard work.
All right, man. Well, we'll see you later, and stick around. Jackass Genius coming up next.
Yeah, stay safe, stay healthy, stay frosty.